Hey guys, I often get the question on what goes into arm care. And we can take this in a lot of different ways, but there is two main things that I like to think about where it comes into arm care and what you have to do. Is one is train movements, and the other is to train the arm itself. So how I view pitchers pitching and fielders fielding and throwing is that the arm is the end of the chain. So what I mean by that is we produce force from the ground to create tension and create force all the way through the body and then release the ball to create the action of the throw. So if there's anywhere, any specific point that is limited, say your front hip doesn't rotate as much, you're gonna cause a break in that chain, which is gonna cause a little bit more stress to the arm because it has to make up for that broken chain because it's at the end of it, it's gonna change the way it throws based on where the body is set up in space, and it's going to react that way. So if it's not react, if it has to react to a bad hip that's not moving as well, it's going to take a little extra load. So train movements, make sure the body can move the way it needs to move to produce the most efficient body mechanics when you throw. But then you have to train the muscle and train the arm itself. So the arm needs to be strong and it needs to be able to create tension as it's overhead. Our bodies, for humans, we don't necessarily work a lot of overhead. And when we're throwing, we're obviously overhead. So we have to learn how to create tension in our arms to make sure that we are, one, producing the force to be able to throw hard, and two, to protect the structures that aren't supposed to have a lot of stress on them. So for a common one is the UCL for uh, for the arm, the elbow. That's a pretty common one that gets hurt. So we have to train the muscles to be able to create tension so that that ligament, the thing that's just supports bone to bone and not a, a muscle or force producing structure of the body, we have to learn to protect that area as well. So you have to teach the body to create tension overhead. And that's what that typically looks like is the typically what you think of the J bands. If you grip onto them, you're kind of learning how to produce tension before you even throw, or even afterwards. You're after you throw, you're starting to build strength to or build tension with some either heavy band work or some light dumbbells where you're starting to create tension overhead. So if I were to answer the question as far as what how do I view arm care, I'm starting to start at the basic level of one, I want to train movements, but I also want to train specific muscles and specifically the arm in an overhead position where I'm creating tension through the body and tension through the arm. That way I'm protecting that arm the most. Guys, if you have any questions with this, please feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to discuss. Thanks, guys.